How we doing, everybody? This is That Our Nerd, and we're here with the fourth verb of dplyr. Again, we've already gone through select, filter, and arrange. And if you want to see any of those, then I will put the links here. So now our fourth one is mutate, and we're starting to get to the really cool verbs, and you can see what they do. So mutate, it says up there, adds a new column. And so this new column is going to be based on information from other columns, right? So you're basically making a new variable from what you already have. So we'll say mutate, and then you put your data frame or your data set, right? Which is iris again. We'll keep using the iris data set here. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a new variable, okay? And so we'll call this new variable sepal. I guess just to stay with theirs, we'll do capital sepal.diff. So we'll say this is the difference between the length and the width, right? I don't know if this variable is super helpful, but it can be, I don't know, maybe cool. So this variable is going to be the difference between the length and the width of the sepal, right? And so what we do is we just say our sepal diff is equal to our sepal length minus our sepal width. As long as I spelt everything right there, we're going to get a new variable here, right? So now we have 6 columns in our sepal diff. And if you go through and look, 5.1 minus 3.5 is 1.6, right? So that gives us the difference between those two groups. And you could think of any other type of thing here. This one really isn't going to make any sense or be interesting at all, right? But if you multiply them, that's just going to take the 2 rows and multiply them together. You could do maybe a divided by or something, and you get the division between those two groups. So basically, you can look at different variables and change them around to what you want. And it doesn't have to necessarily be 2 variables here, right? You could just say we want to double it. We want to see what's the sepal length times 2. Again, for this problem here, this probably isn't something super interesting, the double the length of the sepal length, but just to show you different ideas of different variables that you could make, right? You could do something like we want to group these together. So if they have a large sepal width, then we want them to be part of the one group, and if they're not, then we want them to be part of the smaller group, right? So we could say size is going to be equal to, and we'll do an if-else here. All right, so if you haven't seen these if-elses, it's basically you put the condition in there, and then you put what happens if it is true and what happens if it's not. So something like if sepal.length is greater than, we'll do 6 this time, right? If the sepal length is greater than 6, then we'll put it in group 1, or you could even name this large. And if it's, the else is going to be this last part, right? So if our sepal length is greater than 6, then this condition happens as large. If it's not, then it's going to be small. And with this mutate, it's going to put it in a new variable, right? So because this one is below 6, it's marked as a small size, right? So there's tons and tons of cool things that you can do with this mutate function. Really cool. And we'll have one last video here on summarize, and then we'll do some pipes putting them all together. If you found this video helpful, make sure to press like. And if you want to see more videos similar to this one, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for your time for watching this video.